Hello and welcome to another episode of Mortgage Video Mastermind, where we bring you professionals who share insight into the latest trends, tips, industry, technology, and services to help you create more videos to use in your mortgage business. Okay, so we are live. We'll start it official. Welcome to Mortgage Video Mastermind call. Today we are December 15th and coming up on the holiday season. So this time of the year, people always start doing the whole goal setting and making the plans for next year and all those kind of things. I like to call it planning. So I thought we would kind of maybe talk about that today and how to create some of the best plans, strategies to be able to do scheduling for the videos, to maybe batch videos and things like that. So first and foremost, hello, how are you guys?
Great.
Jason, we haven't seen you for a while. It's good to have you.
Yeah, I know. I've been out of commish, but I am.
He's been on the red carpet tour with all the Hollywood crowd, so.
I know.
It actually looks like he's been out collecting plaques that he has.
Well,
yeah.
Those are from before. I haven't been recognized in at least 20 minutes, so it's been good. But I thought this was the Christmas edition where Scott was going to lead us in song. For a majority.
That's
not the case. Is that not
that's not the case. No, I don't know who sent that memo, but
God rest ye merry.
This is the caroling edition where we're just going to sing really bad Christmas songs.
Now that would be a fun video to watch.
That would be a good one. Yeah. Hey, and there's a video idea right there for you. Right.
There you go. Boom. Drop the mic. Done. Get a whole bunch of people together and sing really bad Christmas carols.
Well, and not to get serious about it, but like if you were the type that did Christmas caroling, could you imagine what an amazing video that would be?
Yeah.
If you went out and you took your family and you knocked on a door, old-fashioned style, and they opened the door and you burst into Christmas songs, how amazing would that be?
That would be cool.
That would get some traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So a little bit of news first and foremost. I'll back it up a little bit. Last week we did the rollout, the launch of our book, the Leadership Video Planner. And so thanks to everyone. Yes, there you go. That got the book. Thank you very much. We actually launched and are still in the #1 slot for new releases on Amazon under video books. So
congratulations.
So that's very exciting, and thanks to everyone who
well, that's only because I see he's on here today. Frank Garay held off on releasing his mouth harp video, and that's the only reason why we're still in #1. He's got a new book coming out, How to Do the Mouth Harp, and
nice.
So
that's a team player right there. You gotta love him.
I think we need to get him
release.
on. He's on he's listening in. Hey Frank, type in the chat box. I'll promote you to panelist if you want to hop on and you can join us in the call. We can do that as well.
I bet you he knows a Christmas song on the mouth harp.
I bet he does.
I guarantee that.
Yeah. Definitely.
So scheduling, doing video. Is that our topic today, Ms. Ginger?
Yep. Okay, so I think he's going to go on. So I'm going to bring him in here.
Having a planner really helps.
Yeah. So having a planner
Step one.
really helps, right?
Yes.
Like a video marketing planner.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, but besides, and so here's the thing. There he is. Hey, Frank.
Oh, I thought I had mayonnaise on my shirt from my 10:30 sandwich because now I live on East Coast time. That's me. It's past lunch.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So for me, Ginger, like when I'm planning my videos, what I found to do best, I do my videos first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Like soon as the office opens up, and if I'm doing them by myself with just like a little, one of those little Gorilla tripods, little $13 tripods you get off of Amazon, or sometimes Lauren, again, most of the time I just use my little iPhone. But what I'll do is, like, if I get, like, let's say I see something that say, I don't know, say Scott does. And I go, dang, that's a good idea. I think I'll do that same thing, and sometimes, I just totally rip it off. And then sometimes I'll just put my little flair to it. And what I'll do is I'll as soon as I see the video, I go put it in my calendar, like right now, like, oh, I need to get around doing that. No. Open up the calendar. I'm going to record that on Thursday at 9:00 or Thursday at 11:15. And so I just put it in the calendar. And if I think it's going to take 10 minutes, I block it out for 45.
Nice.
So in all my videos, I block them off for about 45. Because frankly, by the time I get out there and no stand over here, wait, the sun's kind of here. We need to change the angle because the sun was washing me out. It always takes a little bit longer, than what I think it is. So I'll block off like 45 minutes, even though most of the time it's like, gosh, from start to finish, like 10 minutes, maybe something like that. And I just put it in the calendar. I'll put, like, let's say if I saw Scott's and it inspired me to do it, then I'll put a link to his on my calendar. And then on Thursday, I live on my calendar. I see Thursday, 11 o'clock, it's time to shoot my video. I go shoot my video. But I like doing them in the morning. I feel like just for me, I'm a little fresher in the morning. And I just put it on the calendar. If it's something I want to do every week, like there is a thing I do every week, I put it in my calendar now and just duplicate it like
For every week.
for the rest of the year. And
Yep.
I went on the calendar thing, man, I went kicking and screaming, because I thought, Ginger, I got in the mortgage business because I wanted, a level of freedom and control of my day, kind of thing. So I thought, well, if I go to calendar, that's like a pair of handcuffs. But I found that's not true, that the calendar, it makes me uber efficient and it actually frees up more of my day.
Yeah.
Well,
But
it
if it's
does
not on the
give you
calendar,
control of your day. So it's
Yeah.
like if you're going to lose control, it really gives you back some of that
yeah,
to where this is what I'm going to do right now. And it frees up the other time.
yeah,
I love the fact, so schedule more time. So make sure you have enough time. Put it
yeah,
on the calendar, put it on repeat mode. So it's
Yes.
like, hey, if I know, um, you know, Friday morning, I'm gonna, do it and be realistic. Don't say, okay, I'm gonna get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna do this. If you know you're not gonna do that, right?
yeah.
So let it be something you can do. So I love the repeat, put it on the calendar, make sure you have it. And I loved putting the link. So if you find, and how many of us find ideas all the time, right? Where it's like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. And then you save it and then it's like, now I'm going to go back and look for it. So I love the idea of putting that link in the calendar, which makes you very efficient because then you're just going to have it right there. So all great ideas. Yep.
You know what I started doing in my calendar just recently, and it's helped a lot too, is so I use Google Calendar, right? That's my thing, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if all the calendars do this, but for me, what I found is like when you set your appointments in your calendar, they all kind of have a default color, like they're all blue or something. So what I started doing was like, I don't want it to be just blue. So like something like this, I'm going to make my video Tuesday morning, right? Change that to green, right? And do a repeat, right? And make it green so it kind of sticks out, because your calendar can just get kind of covered in blue squares and like, and so what I do what I think of is like, okay, I'm going to color code these things. And if it's a money-making activity, which to me, marketing is a money-making activity, right? So to me, recording a video that I'm going to send out, that's a way for me to generate business. I make that green, and if I have, tasks that I need to do, maybe I'll make those orange or something, or, if I'm going to meet with Carl, I make that red because I know that's really, really important. You know what I mean? But, but you get me? And so now when I look at my week, I see these colors and I kind of go, oh, okay, that's what I got cooking. And it just doesn't kind of all blend in. For me, this is a personal thing for me. When it was all the same color, I noticed sometimes I would miss things.
Mhm.
Like, even though it's on the calendar, I would still kind of miss it. Oh crap, I missed that, because it just kind of all blended together. So, I mean, silly thing, but it seems to help me. So.
Well, the visual too, and I love because you're kind of so many things that we do, you switch hats. It's like, Fraser, my gosh, I mean, you go from so many different hats that you wear and everything that you do, that having that color in there, knowing it's like, okay, this is my blue hat, this is my yellow hat. It kind of helps you to put that into that frame of mind. So I love that, Frank.
Yeah, I was just going
another
to
thing
say that helped me a lot. Sorry,
No,
go
I
ahead,
was going to
Scott.
say another thing that Frank said that I think is really important is think of your video. Well, depending on how you're going to use your video, but I love the idea of scheduling it on your calendar. It is a marketing activity. It is something that you should carve out time. So I do a couple of different things. So sometimes I'll do series of videos. Like the last one that I did a really big series on was the CARES Act and forbearance. And so there were like 23 videos over there. And I bulk recorded them on a weekend, like on a Saturday morning. I'm with Carl. Mornings are good. You're more fresh and your mind's more fresh and you don't have a bunch of distractions. So if you're going to do some sort of evergreen or something that's not super timely and relevant, like breaking news, record 3 or 4 videos on a Saturday morning, and you can schedule them out on YouTube. If you're posting them, if you're transcribing them, putting them on your blog, you can schedule them out. You can schedule them out on social as well. Right. So you can make them all at one time, batch them and schedule them out. And that's an option as well.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think one thing that I do, and to touch on what Carl said, is that I agree. In the morning is the best. That's when I'm the freshest. That's when I'm kind of thinking. It's before I've had the chance for the day to blow my mind apart with everything that's going on and all the nonsense that we deal with in the mortgage industry. But what I do is I have time blocks in my calendar, and I learned to do this through like leadership courses and whatnot. And those time blocks, part of that is, I started doing the Miracle Morning way back when, and part of that was like morning reflection, right? So now part of that reflection also is like personal development, right? So it's whether you're listening to an audiobook, listening to a podcast, reading a book, or just going on like some groups in social media, like of what people are talking about, like, hey, with something, regulation or margin compression or something, just to educate myself. And then from there, I write, I use a Remarkable, which I highly recommend to anybody, but I use Remarkable to write down all my notes. And then from that, I start getting ideas, right?
Yeah.
And so from that, then I start thinking about, okay, cool, this might be a podcast episode. This might be a blog article. This may be a video, right? So I think it's one of getting that inspiration to do it. And if you make it a habit, right? Because that's really what we're talking about is when you're blocking your calendar, you're making habits. And when you make habits, you tend to do them, right? That's why they're called habits. And so the more you get into creating these habits, especially when marketing, which is a money-making activity, you can never have enough of the money-making activities on your calendar, right? Because that's what's going to make you, that's really what's going to grow your business. So I think, everyone touched on it. The colors, Frank is absolutely correct, right? So like when I jump from thing to thing, and so in Outlook, it's called categories. And so each category has a different color. And then so you just make your calendar so you have greens and blues and stuff. So that way, when I'm looking at it, I know which meeting I want to blow off. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, I know which ones, I know which ones like
True, though.
really.
We're so glad
I
you're
need
here
to do
this
it.
week, Fraser.
Strike that from the record. Strike that from the record.
But you can batch it
Yeah.
too. So I
Yeah.
mean, the whole color idea, Frank, it's like if you want to batch something together, because when you are coming up with content and when you are coming up with video, your mind is going to be in a different area than if you're making phone calls, or if you're processing a loan. I mean, whatever, all the different hats. So if you can batch activities together based on those types of activities, it can be very helpful as well. Writing, it's like I do a lot of writing, and my writing, I have to do writing in the morning, just like the videos. That's my freshest time. That's my best time. And so I just know that's what I'm going to do. And I have 2 days out of my week, Mondays and Fridays, that I don't book appointments, because when I'm doing content creation, when I'm, doing videos, I don't want to be running from, doing a sales call, or an onboarding call or a strategy call to get into, okay, now I got to think about what's my idea for writing this and what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I want to be able
That's a
to
good
like be in the groove. And so
And
for
so what
me,
you're saying, Ginger, is you like doing like-minded type of
yes.
activities. I've never really thought about that. I really like that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because it's different sides of the brain. It's like, I mean, you're totally, and if you come up off of and you're going through, having a call, and, you're talking about, strategy or an onboarding or even a sales call or something like that. And then you have to think about, okay, now I need to be creative and I need to think about what I need to do as far as,
Mhm.
whether it's a video, whether it's writing or something like that.
Mhm.
Just for me personally, it's hard for me to switch. And
Yeah.
so I
State,
just like
state of
having,
mind is super important,
yeah,
right? And you have to, that's kind of where Carl says it's going to be a 10-minute video. Give yourself 40 minutes. It's going to take you 10, 15 minutes to get in the right headspace,
Mhm.
kind of think about what you're going to do, get set up and ready
You,
for it.
you know, Scott, and that also gives an argument for doing the batching thing that you were talking about, because
Yes.
like yesterday, Lauren and I, we blocked off, I think it was like an hour to do a video, and it took, I don't know, 5 minutes, something like that. And we're like, all right, well, crap, we got another 5 minutes to go here, you know. And so, well, hey,
let's do some more.
let's shoot a couple
Do
more.
it.
And I haven't really thought about it, Jenny, but you're right, I was in that frame of mind. So it's like, well, hell, while I'm in that frame of mind, I had my creative juices going. I said, let's knock out. I think we ended up knocking out, I think it was like 5.
Yes.
So this is a particular thing I do for one of the mortgage magazine online version of their magazine I do. And so I knocked out 5 weeks, in a 1 hour period. So I don't have to think about that until, like over a month from now.
Right.
Do,
And that's what's good, is then you don't have to think about that. But if you have it on your calendar, then you can get ahead. It's like, for me, I was super excited because we've got all of our content done for marketing, for all of our newsletters for the first quarter. And so it's like, for me, that was like a huge celebration, like huge. It's like, oh, I'm not, you're not running behind. And now you can go focus on something else. And it's like, hey, this is what I really wanted to work on. And I haven't been able to do that. So now I can go over there and go do that. Right. And
What
then the other
about,
thing is work with someone else. It's like, Carl, you and I did a call first thing this morning, right?
yeah.
And it's like, if you have it with someone else and it's on your calendar, then you're more likely going to show up and do it, right?
Yeah.
yeah, another argument for batching that I've found is a lot of times I'll go back and re-record the first one, because by the time I'm into the second, third, or fourth, I've kind of got a groove, and it's like I'm feeling good. And then I'm like, okay, I was a little chunky, a little slow to start on that first
Yeah.
one. Let's go back and re-record that first one.
Yep.
because you're in the headspace and you're just into it. And regardless of what anybody says, and I don't want to speak for anybody else, but even though I'm okay with video, I enjoy doing video. I'm just as nervous getting started on the first one. It feels like almost every time. Like every time I'm getting started and I'm going, it's like once the camera's going and you're going, you're fine. But there's still sort of that little bit of, okay, let me get it together. So you start talking a little bit and you get into a groove, and then you're just not thinking about it anymore. So I still kind of have the same with public speaking. I can get up on a stage and talk, but I'm still as nervous as I was, I think, the very first time, every single time I do it. So you kind of got to get through those jitters and get through it and just do it. I think it's pretty normal. I think it's pretty natural.
Yeah.
So the scheduling, let's talk about planning.
Yes.
And, part of it is, the first part of planning is to have a plan. And so, that's a lot of it, is to be able to say, and the same kind of thing, like-minded. So put it in your calendar. Okay, I'm going to create my plan. And you could schedule it, whether you're doing video, whether you're doing a plan, whether you're writing content, just create time in your schedule for marketing, period.
Yes.
And, put it in there. Don't take it out. It's absolutely necessary. And I think it's an area that a lot of people let go of, that it's a secondary thought, that it's not a part of, but it really needs to be a part of it. And there's so many pieces to it. So if you're going through planning, and Fraser, you use the Rocket Book, or do you use, which book do you use?
Oh, so I use Remarkable.
You
for
use
my note-
Remarkable. Okay, there's
for note,
Rocket
yeah.
Book. Yeah, there's a couple of different ones. I use Rocket Book. I haven't tried the Remarkable.
It's the greatest invention ever. in my opinion.
So
I-
let's
Because
I would
talk
second
about
someone that
that.
takes a lot of notes and
Yeah.
has notebooks everywhere,
Yes.
has freaking like the legal like I
Totally
was,
me, man.
yeah,
No,
right.
dude.
That was me. Right. That was me,
So,
Carl.
so what you're
Yeah,
saying
right?
is this isn't effective. Is that what you're saying here?
Well, now
Yeah,
I got 100 of those right here, and I'm gonna take it with me everywhere. And it's just no, but Carl, like honestly, if I could zoom the camera down, you can see a pile of those. And then you forget where I wrote this one note or whatever. It's just better
Yeah.
organization for me. So
Right.
and the cool thing is you can screen share from it too. So like if you're on a call, you could start drawing like graphs and bars and things of that nature. Because I love the whiteboard, so I visual, so I just like to draw stuff out. So you could use that for planning, writing notes and stuff like I do.
And you save it, so you can save it. So I want because I think I use Rocketbook, which is very similar.
Mhm.
So the idea is in this book, it's a book and it's a notebook. So it's like, so mine is, I have a little one, I have a bigger one too.
Yeah.
And so you write in it, it has a special pen. And so you can go in, this one has, I don't think you can see it. I've got notes in
Yep.
here. And so then what you do, there's an app and you upload it and it turns it into a Word document. And then you can save it. So I want you to think about, you have notes in your CRM, you have, notes in your calendar, you have notes that go along with events that you attend, whatever. Now, instead of going, oh, I've got this notebook and I'm going to write these down, and you're always mean you're going to put them in there, it's there. And then you can go in, you can add to it, you can color code it, you can do all of those things. How much is the Remarkable? Because I think that one's a little more expensive.
Yeah, it's and I've had a
Find it
Rocketbook
right now.
Yeah, they're hard to find because they go through like you could find them for like a
Yeah.
month and then they're out
And
of stock
that's
for a
why I
while.
got the Rocketbook, honestly,
Yeah.
is because
I
I
wanna
wanted
say
to see
it
if
was
I was
like
going to use it.
$3.99 or $4 something like with the pin $3.99 I think.
Yeah.
I'd have to look
That
at their
sounds
sites.
right. Yeah, that
but,
sounds right.
I'll
to
look
me
it
it's been a complete like just savior for everything that I do, and you take it on the plane, and then you got new pages, you got your notebooks, you go back to it. Like I said, the screen share, it automatically uploads to the cloud, so then you have your app on your laptop or your phone, so you could plug into those notes as well. The cool thing that I like to do is put a PDF on it, and then I could take notes right on the PDF as I'm reading and things of that nature. So that's what I really like about that.
I think Mark got him for his whole team, right?
Yeah, he no, he got rock. I don't think he got Remarkables. He got Rocketbooks. So
So that's who I heard about the Rocketbook. then.
Yeah, I want to say Mark got the Rocketbooks for.
Okay.
So Rocketbook
Yeah.
is basically the same thing, just different brand, basically.
Yeah, it's a special pin,
Yeah.
and then you could get different pins that erase the ink, right? Ink pens that erase, and there's like a QR code on there that then you could scan to upload. It's not, to me, it's not, it works, but it's not as seamless as
It's
soon as I
not.
write it in here, it automatically goes up to the cloud, right?
And
then,
I
so-
can attest to that. I got the Remarkable to see if I would use it. I do use it, or the Rocketbook, and so I think I'm gonna get the Remarkable. I haven't pulled that trigger yet, but whatever you use, I love having it to where it's easy. And so the Rocketbook, it's I think maybe $60 or something like that.
And
And
for my IT challenged people like myself, one thing that I do, and I'll share it here just real quick, is I've got this little Word doc that's just simply called my thoughts, and it's like every little line here is a video idea that I've watched something that somebody else did.
oh my
or
gosh, this is
I'm out
amazing.
riding my bicycle, and I got like literally just can we get all these ideas? And I just write
This
down
is
all
what
these-
Carl's brain looks like. I love
yeah,
this.
and it's just like it's something like it's like sometimes just a little one liner like when
That's
somebody verbally
amazing.
commits, it's against human nature to go against that. And so now I can do a little video about asking for your commitment of your client early in the game, because
Cool.
if I say, hey Ginger, is there anything that would prevent me from being your lender? And you go, nope, Carl, I think you're it. You've just given me a verbal commitment like on day one.
Yeah.
And so that eliminates a lot of my shoppers. And so I just write down like these little ideas that I might hear you say something, or Jason say something, or Scott, or I see something on a Facebook group page or something like that, and just creating a Word doc, and just putting them
This is
there.
all of it.
Yeah, and so
Okay, you know
then
what? I think that's the next bestseller right there. That book, Carl's Thoughts.
yeah, and so then when I, when Lauren and I are sitting there shooting a quick little video with my iPhone, and we say, hey, we got time for a couple more. What do you want to do? I just go to that Word doc, Carl's Thoughts, grab a couple little things, and there we go. When
Right.
so that's what don't get me wrong. I think the remarkable thing is probably a better way to go, but it would take me 2.5 weeks to learn how to use that. It's like, all right.
So
I know Word
I love
doc.
what you do. I love what I do the same thing, and I could just call it Scratch, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I just call it
nice.
Scratch, like a scratch piece of scratch paper, and
I
then
like
Love
that.
it.
same thing, Carl. I just have it's a super long of just me vomiting
Yeah,
ideas,
that's it.
stuff on there.
Get an
Yeah.
idea, right? So what I do, Jason, I do this. I don't know, kind of a interesting, or I wouldn't call it weird, but like anytime I'm riding my bicycle, or anytime I'm riding I know Frank's a hardcore motorcyclist too. When I go ride my motorcycle, I've got a little pouch on the front of my handlebar that's got a little recorder in it, and I'll just be riding, and I got one on my bicycle too. And when I get an idea, I go, damn, that's a good idea. I'll record it. And then every Friday morning, I listen to the last 6 days recordings, and probably 80% of them, I go, man, it sounded good at the time. But when I hear it the second time, I go, man, that's a bad idea. Right. But about 10 or 20% of the time, I go, damn, that was a pretty good idea. And so I think a lot of it is just training our brain to come up with ideas and validating it, and then saving it, and then using them, keeping that as like an ammunition dump, so to speak.
I love it.
It's a really good idea for videos, because you'll have like you just pointed out, you'll have a ton of stuff in there you can use.
Frank, like one of my favorite things to do is like if I want to do videos to real estate agents, I'll go into like Lab Coat Agents, or find some Facebook group page with agents, and I'll go look in there and go, here is somebody made a question. There's like a gazillion comments to it. I go, all right, that's a hot topic. And so I'll simply write down that question, and I'll look at some of the answers and go, damn, that's some pretty good answers there too. And there's my video. So I just go on to other people's groups and see what people are talking about. And I can do that for consumers, or realtors, or financial planners, or loan officers. If I'm looking to recruit loan officers, like whoever I'm looking for, just go to their Facebook group pages, look to see what they're either griping about, or asking about, or, claiming victory on, or complaining about. And man, there's a great place, where other people are helping you, and you don't have to say, gosh, will this be popular? Oh no, it's already popular.
You already know it's popular.
Yeah. Or does somebody want to know? Yeah, there's already 10 people that have asked the same question. So,
I'm a little nerdier. I'm kind of a guideline geek, so I like subscribing to all the circulars and the new releases for new guidelines.
Great idea.
And I'll take those, and like what Fraser said, is I'll put them on my Remarkable as a PDF, and I'll go through and I'll just start marking them up, and I'll say, you know what, this seems like this is probably something people would be interested in. And I think there's also some value, especially with your referral partners, to doing videos about this guideline was just released. Here's how this guideline could have helped in the past, and here's where I think it's going to help more people moving forward. And so you kind of establish yourself as this person that's on top of things. And they're usually 1 or 2 pages long, especially the VA circulars. They're usually 1 or 2 pages long. They're nothing major, but they're clarifications and things like that. But you can always pull a couple of nuggets on what's new, because anytime there's something new, that means that there's a person today that qualifies that didn't qualify yesterday. So,
and nobody's doing that. Nobody's going to read a circular. I mean, nobody's going to say, but they'll watch a video.
It's very nerdy.
Yeah.
So us guideline geeks, that's the kind of stuff we like.
Yeah. Like Carl's brain is a Word document. Scott's is an Excel spreadsheet. Just different.
It automatically sends in reminder text,
That's right.
Good topic today, Ginger.
Yes.
Well, very timely, great ideas, and this is the thing I absolutely love about doing this with you guys, is we can just say, hey, what do you want to talk about today? It's like this, and we get all these little nuggets out of it. And so that's the amazing thing. And for those of you who have joined us watching, thank you so much for joining us. And we do appreciate you and all you do. We are going to take the next 2 weeks off, so we're going to be off for the holidays. So we wish you all a very happy holiday season. Happy New Year. We'll be back after the first of the year, 2022. But think about what you can be doing. Make your plan, get it on your schedule, go make some videos. That's
Yeah.
the most important thing. And just get started. Carl, you said this and you say it all the time. It's like, the video that you make today is better than the video you didn't make yesterday, right?
Infinitely better.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Love it.
I love it. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
everybody.
Happy
Merry
New Year.
Christmas.
Have a
Bye.
good day. Bye.